Hello and welcome to this week's Midweek Minute here on August 25th, 2021. Thanks to my friend Brent for borrowing me his umpire gear here today. I'm not an ump. And funny story though, this summer, one time I was asked if I would fill in as an umpire here for one of the women's league softball games. And I said, no way, I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to being an umpire. Nevertheless, today I'm donning the umpire gear as it reminds me of a phrase from Colossians 3 verse 15 that says, "Let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts." And that word rule has the idea of kind of like being an umpire, the one who calls the shots, the one who has the final say and final authority. And in essence, you could think of letting the peace of Christ be the umpire in our hearts. And in a game of softball or baseball, it's the umpire who says, yep, this is a strike, this is an out, this is a foul ball. And for the people that are in the stands or a person at bat, it may seem like, no, that doesn't seem right. Or it might seem like it was such a close one and like, oh, but ultimately, whether it's a close call or a very obvious call, the umpire has the final say. And there's a challenge for us to just allow Christ's peace to be that umpire in our hearts. And it can be in the way of something that we're about to say or something that we're about to send in digital communication. We're about ready to say something and we think, no, we hold our tongue. Or we're ready to send off a message on social media, make a comment, or we're starting to thumb a text message and we just feel no, and we hit the delete button. Maybe the tone wasn't right, maybe the attitude wasn't right, or just wasn't right. Maybe it's something else, maybe it's in the way of making a decision and we start to think, we weigh out all the pros and cons and it looks like a real logical, it looks like a real practical decision, and yet we just don't feel a peace about proceeding. And maybe there's nothing illegal or immoral or unethical about the course of action that we're thinking of taking, and yet there's something just deep down that doesn't feel right. And maybe we can't put our finger on it, but something about it is saying, no, don't proceed. And then there's other times that we have this clear sense of, yes, proceed. And there's this peace about going forward. That's letting the peace of Christ be the umpire in our hearts. Well, I hope that we will all be encouraged to allow the peace of Christ to rule in our hearts. All right. It is a full count. What is that? 2 strikes, 3 outs? No. I got that wrong, didn't I? It's not much of enough. Okay, let's try it again. 2 strikes, 3 balls, full count. And it is a strike! Batter's out. Have a great day.